Hello, hello, hello. I'm Biker Gang, your main man, the real Bill Real. Folks, you are tuned into Sybrina's Logic. This clip that she gave a couple of days ago allows you to look inside of her mind and see how she reasons. Let's go.
It's unfortunate what has happened with Trayvon, and that's why I feel like it's so important for me to be here so that you all can at least put a face with what has happened with this tragedy.
Come on, Sybrina. The whole entire world know who you are because of this lie that you done told. You and this rascal here and this rascal here. So they know the face, but let's go. Come on.
Teenagers like to be independent at times, and
I guess they wanted to be so independent that you just kicked them out. Did you tell them that? Did you tell them that that's the reason why he was in Sanford? It's because he had been suspended for jumping on a teacher? Huh? Did you fail to tell anybody the fact that he had jumped on the bus driver on the way to Sanford? That's two adults that your son had beat up before he was beating George Zimmerman up and got shot doing it. I want to set this clip up so that you truly understand who Sybrina Fulton is. Let's go.
he was simply going to get a drink and some candy. That tells me right there his mentality.
She wants you to think in the next few sentences, that tells me his mentality. Because any kid that goes to get any kind of tea, drink, punch, and any kid that goes to get some Skittles, oh, that's a kid. As if teenagers don't get Skittles and tea to make lean. She wants you to believe that there's no way possible that that's what he was doing that night. Or that that's what was causing his liver to have the type of damage to it that it had. Or that was causing his social behavior, if you will. Any kind of kid that's doing that type of, fighting, being that disrespectful to adults and beating, he was a bully at his school too. She failed to tell you that. He was a bully. That's why nobody really wants to come out and say anything about him. Yeah. But keep in mind that what she's about to say to you is pure bullcrap. She's about to say to you that, he had to be, a little tyke if he's getting this. All right? This is the game that she's been running on everybody for the last year and a half. She's been running that game on you. So I just want to expose her phoniness. Come on.
That tells me that he was not going to get cigarettes or bullets or condoms.
Now, isn't it ironic that she says that he wasn't going to buy cigarettes, but we see on the video that he waited outside for the three who entered in the store, who were, came in there with the hats on and whatnot right after he left, and then he came their way and he dipped out, and they ended up buying blunts. Okay. And number two, bullets. How isn't this something? She has no idea that what she's actually saying makes sense. That, he wasn't buying bullets because I knew he had a piece. I knew he had a gun. Jerome knew he had a gun. Tracy knew he had a gun. Check out the text, people. All this stuff is public record. And condoms. Come on, people. You've seen the text. You've seen the text where he's saying some very disparaging things about females. He's saying some things that a seasoned veteran would say that are very disparaging, very disrespectful. So, isn't it ironic that she's saying that he's not going to go get bullets, blunts, or tobacco and condoms this time? He was just going to get a drink and some Skittles. I tell you, this is her logic. Let's go.
or other items of that nature.
Or other items of that nature. Because I'm pretty sure he was bringing all kinds of stuff up in her house. He was doing all kinds of disrespectful things in his mom's house. She knows about it. But she will never ever lead on to that. As you see this guy here looking on like he just believes everything. Okay. Let's go.
He was going to get a drink and candy. Trayvon was minding his own business.
Okay. How do you know that he was minding his own business when you were in Miami? He was in Sanford. Tracy says that he wasn't there. So how are you able to say this and we are able to take you at your word that you know exactly what he was doing? Was he on the phone with you? No, he wasn't. So you can't say with certainty as to what he was doing. But once again, if you buy this lady's, act, you're going to fall right for it. Let's go.
He was not looking for any type of trouble.
He was not looking for any kind of trouble. I remember when I told you in Trayvon Martin, Closer Look, that the type of liar she is, she needs to tell you everything that is factual in a way in which you think, oh, no, she's already addressed that issue. It can't be that. She knows that her son had a very short temper. He was a live wire. He was the kind of guy that was, hey, confront you. What's up, homie? What's up? What'd it do? Let's throw them hands. What's up? Huh? Show me what you got. Come on now. Now, she fails to tell you that the father, Fruit, find out who Fruit is. A.K.A. Tracy Martin, is a former gang member. And Trayvon wanted to be just like Pop. In fact, he was so much like him that, Tracy at one point didn't really know what to do with him because of his ways, his thuggish ways, his gangster ways. Let's go.
He was not committing any crime. What kind of message are we sending if our kids, because remember, these are our kids in our communities, don't feel safe?
See, I told you that's what she wants to do. She wants to tie the whole entire thing in to make you attached to it so that you think about your kid and how much you want to protect your kid. How can we set an example that we should never allow the children to be responsible for their actions? That's what she's saying to you. We should set new rules for them. We should allow our teens to drink and drive, kill people, beat people up, rob people, shoot people, whatever, because because they're younger than 18. Hey, they should not be held accountable because they're just a kid. They're just a teenager. Well, I got news for you, ma'am. When your kid beats people up, grown ups, okay? He beat up three grown ups in less than a week. Yes, three grown ups in less than a week. That's who Trayvon was. So when you're beating up three adults in a week, one of those adults is going to shoot you. As you and Fruit had told him before. But he refused to obey you and honor you and Fruit. And that's what happened to him. He lived by the sword. He died by it. Yes, he had a gun. Did he probably go and stash his gun at the house? He probably did. Let's go.
Don't feel safe simply walking to the store to get candy and a drink.
Okay. Now, since this happened, how many youth have been shot and killed on the way to the convenience store getting a drink and some candy? How many, Sybrina? Where are your statistics that are showing us that we have an outrage? We have a reason to be alarmed at the rates of gunned down kids on their way coming back from a store. You don't have it. What we have is a situation where you refuse to take responsibility for kicking your kid out because you couldn't control him, because you refuse to discipline him, and the father of your son refuses to take responsibility for not teaching him better, for not whooping his butt like you should have. That's what all of this is about. You got to take responsibility. We as a people must take responsibility. There's nobody to blame here but your son for his actions that caused him to get shot. The sooner everybody, like this guy, and everybody else here in the back row, and everybody else here listening to me, the sooner we can figure out this, the sooner we can get to better days with logic. This is ignorant. This is embarrassing. This sets a people back when they are acting so ignorant and stupid, like as if they don't understand consequences for actions. And they shouldn't be attempting to get other kids to be like Trayvon. You should not want a kid to wear a hoodie. You should not want a kid to be doing the things that your son was doing that led up to his death. You should be giving a PSA saying, hey, honor your mother and your father. Don't get into fights. Honor authority. That's what you should be saying, but you're listening to this guy who's only thinking about a lawsuit, and this guy who's only thinking about a lawsuit. They don't have your best interest at hand. And your ethics are too screwed up for you to even understand it. You're too wicked to even know it. You think that you're convincing people with this. You're just using this kid. You didn't care about him like that.
I just wanted to come here to talk to you for a moment to let you know how important it is that we amend this stand your ground, because it certainly did not work in my case.
You are absolutely right, Sybrina. It had nothing to do with your case. When your son decided to pummel George Zimmerman without getting off of him, because there is a time in a fight that when another man is getting the best of the other man, that he doesn't really need to do much, else. When you're beating up on a guy, you know when you've won the fight. From the sounds of the screams, Trayvon had definitely won the fight. Trayvon was beating him up big time. You gotta accept responsibility. Let's go.
The person that shot and killed my son is walking the streets today.
Why is he walking the streets? Because the law said that he was not guilty of the lie that this gentleman and Natalie Jackson concocted, and the lie that this guy here has been perpetuating on news media, and gentlemen like this guy and then everybody else who's picked up on this lie and ran with it. You guys should be embarrassed. You guys should really be ashamed of yourselves.
And this law does not work.
Of course it works. It's called stand your ground, which means that you don't have to retreat. But he was not using stand your ground. He used simple self-defense. When you have a guy on the bottom screaming help, when he's asking his neighbor, can you get this guy off of me? That lets you know that Trayvon Martin was not some little jolly kid. This guy was probably breaking into homes. He was probably vandalizing. He was probably getting into every and anything possible. When that happens, Sybrina, then you bring consequences on yourself. And it's quite the opposite of the way in which you're attempting to portray it. Your son was not just some innocent kid gunned down because he was wearing a hoodie. And for you, and everybody else to try to get us to believe that that's what this is about is an insult to our intelligence. And we, as a people, need to silence foolish people like you, and everybody else who believes this crap. A year and a half later.
We need to seriously take a look at this law. We need to seriously speak with the state attorney's office, the police departments.
Now, I told you in another video that no matter what happens, no is not an option to her in the scheme team. Somebody saying logically, hey, you don't have a case. Hey, you don't have a lawsuit. That law wasn't invoked in this case. No matter what people say, they're continuing to say we want our own brand of justice. That's not good enough. I need to go and meet somebody else. I need some senators to tell me what the police already told me. I need some senators to tell me what the courts already told me. I need some senators to tell me what George Zimmerman already told me happened. These three, and I need some senators to tell me something different than what the FBI has already reported to me. I need to paint this for you so that you see how absurd this entire case is. The argument on the side of people that says no justice, no peace. He was wronged. Nah. Somebody along the way would have found out that hey, something was a little hairy there that went on, or some information we didn't get, or all the information has been in. People have been known about stuff. But this is what this lady right here, this is what she wants you to believe, people. Do not get suckered in to Sybrina's logic.
More attorneys, we need to do something about this law when our kids cannot feel safe in their own community.
As I said before, This is the snow job that's in effect. As you got this gentleman back here shaking his head like, yep, yep. They don't feel safe. They just don't feel safe, which is bull crap. Bull crap. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, Sabrina, it is unfortunate. We're finished. We're done. People, put an end to this. Put an end to this evil. This is wickedness. These are lies. This lady has misled you. I'm signing off.